My name is Elena Marsh. I'm 34 and I've taught third grade for 11 years without ever raising my voice in a classroom. 2 years after my husband left me for my younger sister, I ran into his mother, Diane, at the grocery store. She looked at my cart, a single portions, one coffee mug, and smiled like she'd been waiting years for this moment. "Some women just aren't cut out for family," she said, loud enough for the whole aisle to hear. Good thing Ryan found someone who actually wants a real home. I didn't argue. I just asked her one question, calm as still water, "Is that what you think happened?" 3 days later, a letter arrived at the school district office, one that would end Diane's perfect version of the story for good. "Welcome back to channel name, where quiet women outlast loud cruelty, and the truth always collects its debt. If justice is your thing, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, and subscribe before we start." Let me rewind 3 years, because the grocery store wasn't where this began. I grew up the daughter of a mill worker in a small Pennsylvania town, the kind of place where reputation is currency. I put myself through college teaching summer camps, and by 27 I had my own classroom and a husband named Ryan, charming, well-liked, the kind of man who made every room feel like his. We wanted a family. It didn't happen easily, and instead of facing it together, Ryan started disappearing into long shifts at work. I didn't know yet that those shifts were spent with my younger sister, Casey, the one person I never thought to watch. Diane, my mother-in-law, had always treated me like competition for her son's attention. When the marriage started cracking, she didn't need proof. She just needed a story, and I was the easiest villain to write. Elena's called. Elena's married to her job. No wonder Ryan looks elsewhere. By the time Ryan filed for divorce, the story was already finished in everyone's mind. I didn't fight it. I kept grading papers, kept showing up for 8-year-olds who needed a steady adult more than I needed to defend myself. But then Diane didn't stop at dinner table gossip. She started calling parents in my class, parents she knew from church, hinting that a woman going through something like that shouldn't be trusted alone with children. Enrollment dropped. The principal started asking questions. My job, the one thing that had never once called me broken, was suddenly on the line. That's when I stopped being patient. I found an education attorney named Priya Nair, who listened without interrupting and then said something I never forgot: reputation isn't just a feeling, legally, it's an asset. And someone's been quietly stealing yours. To build a case, we needed proof the rumors were false, spread deliberately, and had caused real harm. My performance review, my declining enrollment, all documented. Priya sent Diane's own words back to her, quoted in calls to 3 separate parents, inside a formal cease and desist. Diane, certain she'd done nothing but look out for the children, responded exactly the way people do when they believe their own lie. She doubled down in writing, repeating the accusation to the school board directly. That single email became the whole case. She'd put the defamation in permanent, time-stamped ink. The school board hearing happened on a Tuesday morning. Diane sat in the front row, certain she'd be thanked for her concern. Priya read her email aloud, then laid one fact beside it: the psychologist's report Diane herself had cited didn't exist. She'd invented it entirely to make her story sound official. The room went still. The board chair asked Diane directly if she could produce the report. She couldn't. I didn't raise my voice. I just said, "You don't need to invent reasons to dislike me, Diane. But you don't get to invent reasons to take my job." The board cleared me within a week. Enrollment recovered by fall. Diane never apologized, some people never do, but she stopped calling parents, because now there was a paper trail with her name on it. If you've ever been quietly rewritten by someone else's story, let this be your reminder: the truth doesn't need to shout. It just needs one moment, said clearly, where it counts. If this reached you, share it with someone who needs to hear it tonight. Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.